Hi, it's Mark from My College Timeline, and in this video we're going to take a look at the top 4 personality quizzes for teens. And we're going to look at the Princeton Review Career Quiz, something called the Human Metrics Quiz, the College Boards Quiz, which is called ID Me, and something called MyVerse. So let's dive in. The first one we're going to look at is Princeton Review. They've got a career quiz, and by the way, the links for all these quizzes are going to be attached to the video here. So you can see the career quiz here. It says, in order for us to estimate your personal interests and usual style, you will first need to answer a series of questions. Read each pair of phrases below and decide which one of the two most describes you, then select the radio button next to that phrase. As you make your choices, assume that all jobs are of equal pay and prestige. When you have answered all of the questions, click Continue to go on. So you can see there are 24 questions, and for example, the first one you select between I would rather be a wildlife expert or I would rather be a public relations expert. I would rather be a company controller or I would rather be a TV news anchor. So you work your way through the questions, and like I said, there are 24 of them, and when you've answered all 24, you click Get Results. And you can see here what the results look like. So it says, now that you've completed this quiz, you can learn even more about your work and interest style by taking a detailed performance profile survey. Okay, fine. But here are my results. Your interest color is blue. And for example, in this case, it says people with blue interests like job responsibilities and occupations that involve creative, humanistic, thoughtful, and quiet types of activities. Blue interests include abstracting, theorizing, designing, writing, reflecting, and originating, which often lead to work in editing, teaching, composing, inventing, mediating, clergy, and writing. And your usual style is blue, and it gives some description about my usual style here. And then it says careers from the Princeton Review Guide to your career linked to blue interest. And you can see it has a listing of potential careers. It's a long list. It's not really filtered. And, you know, I got to say, I didn't find this quiz particularly useful. This description just doesn't mean much to me. It's not all that accurate. And actually, when I click on to get a detailed performance profile survey, I get this error. So not overly impressed with the Princeton Review career quiz, but maybe the error was just something on my side. But it's a good thing, you know. I guess it's a good quiz to get started with these types of quizzes. It only took about 10 minutes to do. Okay, so the next one we want to look at is called Human Metrics, and this is a free test. Is based on Carl Jung's and Myers and Isabel Briggs Myers' typological approach to personality. Upon completion of the questionnaire, you will obtain your 4-letter type formula according to their typology, along with the strengths and preferences and the description of your personality type. Discover careers and occupations most suitable for your personality type. See which famous personalities share your type, and access free career development resources. So you can see in this test, it's a series of questions. For example, you are almost never late for your appointments, yes or no. You'd like to be engaged in an active and fast-paced job, yes or no. And you work your way through the questions, and there are 72 of them, and then you select your age, your gender, and score it, and you get your results. So for example, with the set of answers that were given here, the results are you're an INTJ. You're an introvert, intuitive, or rather you're based on introvert, intuitive, thinking, and judging. And it gives you description of what that means here. And then you have 2 buttons you can click on here for free. First is self-awareness and personal growth, so I can click on that. And it gives a description, and I'll just read the first paragraph here, of a description of an INTJ. To outsiders, INTJs may appear to project an aura of definiteness or of self-confidence. This self-confidence, sometimes mistaken for simple arrogance by the less decisive, is actually of a very specific rather than a general nature. Its source lies in the specialized knowledge systems that most INTJs start building at an early age. So you can see as I scroll down here, it's a really long description, and I actually found this to be quite accurate and quite useful in judging my self-awareness and personal growth. Now, the other button you can click on is for career choices. And when I click on that, it says for these test results, generally INTJs have successful careers in areas requiring intensive intellectual efforts, presenting intellectual challenge and creative approach. Due to the characteristics mentioned above, successful INTJs are found in technological companies, particularly in research and development, and also found among corporate lawyers, high and mid-rank managers, and in technology companies and financial institutions. So, excuse me. I again found this to be highly accurate because I build apps. I love building apps. And that was the top result, software engineering. So you can click on any of these results. I can scroll down and see other careers that may make sense for me based on my profile. I can see famous personalities sharing your type. So these are some interesting people. Guy Kawasaki is a person I really respect. So I thought the results here were really strong. Now, I do think the design is awful. So I think the design is pretty poor, and it feels kind of spammy because there's a lot of ads here in and around the site. However, it's free, and found it to be really a good test to take. Excuse me. The next one is from the College Board, and they've got a product called ID Me. And as it says here, ID Me is your starting point for the education and career planning process. In partnership with Golden LLC, we have created a unique profiling experience to help you learn more about yourself and receive suggestions for majors and careers that are compatible with both your general interests and your personality type. So you can see it's got 4 different steps. First is to complete a short quick start questionnaire. Then you learn more about your personality type by completing the ORA personality profile. And then you view your profile to learn about your type and review suggested majors and careers. And then you flag any of the suggested majors or careers for further review for other parts of the site. Now, this quiz may be free. So if you took the PSAT or the NMSQT or the PSSS, then it's free. Also, your school may have given you a 6-digit code, in which case it's free. Or you can pay to take it, and you get a 1-year subscription for $19.95. So that's what I did to take the quiz. You do need to have a College Board account. If you don't already have one, it just takes a minute or two to create one. You fill in the form. This is the rest of the form, and then you click Next. Then you're taken back to this page, and you need to sign in. And then once you're signed in, again, you're taken back to this page and you can get started. So the first thing is to complete our short quick start questionnaire. And when I click there, it gives me 2 options, quick start majors or quick start careers. I can click on quick start careers. And you can see there's a number of questions in this quiz. So your answers to this quick start survey will be used to filter the list of careers according to your preferences. For those questions about which you feel strongly, check the box labeled very important to me. So for example, this first question is, I'm interested in careers that are primarily focused on inventing and exploring new ideas, analyzing and interpreting information, managing and coordinating people and activities, or building, repairing, and improving things. So I go through the questions. There's only 8 of them. And then I click Show Me Results. And I can see that, excuse me, the results in this case gives me my careers. So based on your responses to the Career Quick Start, we have provided a list of options for you to explore further. The purpose of this list is to introduce careers that are compatible with your interests and type, not to limit your options only to those presented below. Your next step will be to flag careers using the checkboxes below that you wish to research further. So I can see here are a number of different career options, and I didn't find this to be particularly accurate. None of these matched up with things that I'm really strongly interested in. So didn't find this quick start career quiz to be really useful. Now that being said, the next thing is moving on from quick starts is the ORA personality profiler, and there's one for students aged 13 to 15 and one age 16 and older. So I took this personality profiler, And it's divided up into 3 sections. So the first section, you're answering questions. For example, when I go shopping for groceries, and it gives you 2 options on either side: make a list and buy only what's on the list with few exceptions, or rarely make a list and buy many items I didn't plan to. And you rank it from strongly to somewhat to mostly to strongly on the other side. So you go through the first section, and you can see that there's a number of questions you work through. Then you get to section 2, and the questions are phrased a little differently, but basically very similar. And then you get to section 3, where you simply choose between one word, and you choose which word represents you the most. Now, in terms of the results of this quiz, the results were similar to the human metrics quiz, very similar. They give you a percentage, about 4% of MyRoad participants. This is also called MyRoad from College Board. So I found that to be useful. And it gives you a breakdown of your strengths. You learn best when dealing with things, when interacting socially, and you can select things that really describe you well. And then you can add those things to your plan. So I did find this to be quite useful and quite accurate. So in fact, it compares the results from the Quick Start Careers and the Personality Profiler. And you can see with the answers that were put in this case, they don't match up really at all. So that's interesting. So like I said, this one I didn't find useful, but the Personality Profiler I did find useful. It did take a while to go through, about a half an hour to 40 minutes, but found it to be a good quiz to work through. The last one we want to look at is called MyVerse. This is brand new. It's in beta, and you can, as of the date of this video, and you can see here, MyVerse is an online mobile resource where teens get psychometrically matched to 1 to 5 careers, then to a major course, and then on to college, community, trade school, find an internship, apply for scholarship, and more. Oh yeah, and we are free. So I click Get Started. And there's 2 quizzes for MyVerse. One is what they call a color quiz. This one is more fun and will get more accurate with more users. And the other one is the MBTI quiz. Not sure what that stands for, but this is 70 questions and is currently more accurate. So this one is more similar to the human metrics or the College Board quiz. So I took that one. And you can see here that there's 70 questions, and it has simple questions like, at a party, do you interact with many, even strangers, or interact with a few friends? So you select one of the options. And what I like here is that as I work through the questions, I can see in real time how that's affecting me. So my other results showed an INTJ, and as I worked through this quiz, once I took all of my questions, you can see that this is also showing that I'm an INTJ. Now, the next step, once you get answered all the questions, the next step is to view your result. Please log in or sign up. So I did that. I filled in the user registration, a simple form, and I was supposed to be emailed a confirmation email and a link so I could go in and see my results, but amazingly, I never got the email. Now, this is in beta, so I'm assuming this will get better over time, but this was a pretty significant failure, really annoying to have gone through the quiz and not get the results. However, I still think this one is worth looking at and as you're looking at different quizzes. So, in summary, if I were to look at all of these different quizzes and try and come up with one that looks the best, what I would recommend is that you actually take more than one. Maybe take 2 or 3, or maybe even take all of them here. Because what I found is that, for example, the Human Metrics quiz and the College Board ID.me quiz gave me similar results. MyVerse was trying to give me similar results, but from these 3 quizzes, I got similar results, and that was really useful for me to see that different quizzes, different ways of looking at it, still gave me largely the same answer, which really helped me understand, go through the process of understanding the real me and what careers and colleges may make sense for me. So I recommend looking at all of them. The links are below, so spend some time. I went through all of the quizzes in about 2 hours. total. And I only spent $20 for the College Board ID quiz. The rest were free, and this one may be free for you. So a really useful exercise, and definitely recommend you try some personality quizzes.